Our company provides home medical equipment and supplies like oxygen, beds, wheelchairs, and walkers to help patients maintain their health at home. I, along with hundreds of medical equipment companies around the state of Alabama, are very concerned with the future of our industry, specifically the adverse effects of Medicare's competitive bidding program on the state of Alabama. Medicare's competitive bidding program will ruin the durable medical equipment marketplace and cost Alabama the loss of thousands of jobs and the closings of hundreds of small businesses in our state. The Medicare Modernization Act of 2003, or MMA, established requirements for a new competitive bidding program for medical equipment. Currently, Medicare has a preset regional fee schedule. Under this new program, suppliers compete to become Medicare contract suppliers by submitting bids to furnish medical equipment. Medicare awards contracts based on bids submitted to enough suppliers to meet beneficiary demand for the bid items. Not all suppliers that submit a bid will be offered a contract to provide medical equipment to Medicare patients. Only a limited number of suppliers will be awarded contracts. Competitive bidding was supposed to be phased in over time, but due to the passage of the Affordable Care Act, competitive bidding was accelerated. In 2010, Round 2 was implemented in 9 major cities. The fee schedule in Round 1 was reduced by 35%. It's confirmed that 450 medical equipment companies have gone out of business. Thousands of jobs were lost. 75% of Medicare beneficiaries were forced to find a new provider, sometimes in another state. Some DME providers who accepted contracts in Round 1 were unable to remain open due to the unsustainable rates. Round 2 of competitive bidding is set to go into effect July of 2013. Now take Round 1 and multiply it 10 times. It's 10 times as many cities as Round 1. And the fee schedule slashed 45%. Diabetic supplies were reduced 72%. There are approximately 600 licensed providers in Alabama. The majority of these providers are located in the competitive bid area, and only a fraction of the providers that bid will be offered contracts. Some estimated that 30 to 50 providers will be offered contracts. Many contracts will be offered to out-of-state companies that do not have a location in Alabama and in many cases have never been in the medical equipment business. Round 2 will have a devastating effect on Alabama medical equipment providers, with the loss of jobs and potential closings of hundreds of companies. So what's wrong with Medicare's competitive bid program? Number one, there's no transparency. Medicare continues to deny industry requests for information pertaining to the methodology and specific factors used to establish bid winners. Number two, arbitrary pricing process. Any provider can submit a bid, and if he's awarded a contract, they can accept to refuse it. The payment rate developed by this program sets the reimbursement rate at the median of the provider's bid. This process encourages unethical manipulation of the bidding system by submitting a lowball bid in order to increase the probability of being awarded a contract. At least half of the winners receive a contract for payment below what they bid. Number three, there's no appeal process. Providers have no means to appeal payment rates. Providers have no means to appeal not winning a contract. While competitive bidding is intended as a Medicare cost containment device, it could force 90% of the 550 plus Alabama medical equipment providers out of business, costing the state hundreds of jobs, according to several company executives. Tom Fitzsimmons, owner of Fitzsimmons Home Medical Equipment, is basically giving up. His grandfather started the business in the 1930s, but Fitzsimmons says he will close 7 of his 8 locations, laying off 70 full-time workers because he will lose 80% of his business when the CMS bidding program expands on July 1st. It's stories like these that we want to prevent here in Alabama. How will this impact Alabama other than the loss of thousands of jobs? It'll eliminate the biggest cost savings for Medicare. Our industry, for instance, can take care of a patient at home on oxygen for about $7 a day as compared to about $3,600 per day in the hospital. A $3 neb kit to take breathing treatments at home as compared to about a $2,000 emergency room visit. It'll have a definite impact on patients. Patients will not have a choice in the company or equipment they are provided. Remember, 75% of the patients in round one had to find new providers. It'll cause hospital stays to go up as well as hospital readmissions. Hospital discharge planners will have a harder time getting patients out of the hospital due to the fewer number of providers. Competitive bidding is just plain bad medicine for all of us. Contact your representatives in Alabama and in Washington. Tell them to stop competitive bidding.